Some men walk into a room and command it within 3 seconds. Not because they're the loudest, the biggest, or even the smartest, but because when they speak, the room quiets down. When they walk in, people adjust. They sit up straighter. They lower their voices. They wait to see what he thinks. Meanwhile, another man in that same room is doing everything right. He's dressed sharp, telling good stories, trying hard to be noticed. People are polite to him. But nobody's adjusting for him. Nobody's waiting to hear his opinion. But wait. Before we begin, please subscribe to ensure that you never miss out on any of my essential stuff. Comment, "I subscribe," below, and I will personally welcome you to our community. With that said, let's get started. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Respect has almost nothing to do with what you think it's about. It's not about being liked. It's not about being loud. It's a psychological signal. And once you understand the signal, you can build it, deliberately, starting today. There's a strange law that governs status in every social species, including ours. The harder you chase respect, the further it runs from you. Think about the last time you saw someone try too hard. Bragging about their car, name-dropping, talking over people to prove a point. Your gut reaction wasn't admiration. It was a small, involuntary flinch of discomfort. When someone visibly campaigns for status, our brains read it as insecurity, not strength. We're wired to detect the difference between a man who has something and a man who needs something from us. This is the paradox. Respect is never given to the man asking for it. It's given to the man who appears not to need it at all. That single idea rewires everything about how you should carry yourself. Every action that says, "Please notice me," quietly repels the exact outcome you want. Every action that says, "I'm fine either way," pulls people toward you. Picture a mid-level office, the kind with fluorescent lighting and a conference room nobody wants to be in. Two men, both up for the same promotion. Marcus is talented. He's read the leadership books, he knows the frameworks, and he wants everyone to know it. In meetings, he speaks first and speaks longest. He interrupts to add value. He laughs a beat too loud at the boss's jokes. He's not a bad man, he's an eager one. But something about him makes people quietly tune out. His energy reads as hungry, and hunger, however talented, makes people wary. It signals that his confidence depends on their approval. Daniel sits 2 seats down. He says less. When he does speak, he pauses first, just a half second, and the room leans in slightly, because his silence wasn't empty, it was loaded. He doesn't rush to fill quiet moments. When someone challenges his idea, he doesn't get defensive. He considers it, sometimes even agrees. He's not trying to win the room. He's simply unbothered by whether he does. 6 months later, Daniel gets the promotion. Not because he was smarter. Because every unconscious signal he gave off, his pace, his stillness, his lack of urgency, told the room this man's sense of self isn't up for a vote. This is the core mechanism of respect. People extend status to those who appear to already possess it internally. Anthropologists studying status across human cultures identified 2 completely separate routes to it, and almost everyone confuses them. The first is dominance. Status through force, intimidation, or control. It works, briefly, but it breeds resentment. People comply with dominance. They don't respect it. The moment the threat disappears, so does the compliance. The second is prestige. Status freely conferred because a person has demonstrated real competence, calm, or value, and because others choose to elevate them. Prestige-based respect is durable. It doesn't require you to posture, threaten, or perform. It's earned through demonstrated capability plus the emotional regulation to stay level when others aren't.
Here's what almost nobody tells men chasing respect. Most social training pushes them toward dominance behaviors, talk louder, take up space, one-up people, when the far more powerful and sustainable path is prestige. Prestige is built through 3 things. First, emotional regulation. Your nervous system is a broadcast tower. Other people's brains pick up your internal state, whether you want them to or not. A man who stays calm under pressure isn't just acting confident, he's transmitting a signal that says there's nothing here to fear, and people relax around that signal then respect the source of it. Second, economy of movement and speech. Low-status individuals tend to move more, fidget more, and talk faster when nervous. High-status individuals conserve motion. They don't rush their words. This isn't performance. It's what happens naturally when a person isn't run by anxiety. But you can train the outward behavior first, and the inward calm often follows. Third, selective responsiveness. A man who reacts to everything, every joke, every insult, every provocation, announces that he has no internal compass, that the room is steering him. A man who chooses what deserves his reaction announces the opposite, that his attention is a resource, not a reflex, and its scarcity makes it valuable. This isn't a modern invention. Study the men history remembers as commanding rather than merely powerful, and the same pattern appears again and again. Restraint before force, composure before intensity, silence before speech. Roman military culture prized what they called gravitas, a weightiness of presence that had nothing to do with volume. A commander who screamed at his men was seen as unstable. A commander who gave orders in a level voice, who didn't flinch under fire, was the one soldiers would die for. That distinction separated men who were obeyed out of fear from men who were followed out of belief. The same principle shows up in Stoic philosophy centuries later. The idea that a man's power lies almost entirely in what he can control, his reactions, his attention, his composure, and almost nothing in external validation. The less your peace depends on other people's opinions, the more those people instinctively respect you, because you've removed the leverage they'd otherwise have over you. Understanding this is worthless without application. Here's exactly how to build it, starting in your next conversation. Slow your speech by 20%. Not dramatically, just enough that you're not racing to fill silence. Speaking fast is almost always a fear response. Fear of being interrupted, fear of losing the floor. Slower speech signals, you assume you'll be heard. Let silences breathe. After you say something important, resist the urge to immediately explain or qualify it. Let it sit. The man who over-explains is signaling he doesn't trust his own words to land. React less, observe more. Before responding to criticism, a joke at your expense, or an unexpected challenge, take 1 full second before you speak. That single second, barely perceptible to others, is the difference between reflexive and chosen behavior, and it's read instantly on a subconscious level as control. Stop performing certainty you don't have. Paradoxically saying, "I'm not sure, let me think about that," in a level tone commands more respect than a confident-sounding guess, because it signals you're not driven by the need to appear infallible. Guard your attention like currency. Don't reflexively engage every comment directed at you. Choosing not to respond to a jab is often a stronger move than any comeback. It denies the other person the reaction they were fishing for. Fix your baseline physiology. Shoulders back, unhurried walk, steady eye contact without staring. This isn't about faking anything. It's about removing the small, constant leakage of anxiety signals that undercut everything else you're trying to project.
None of these require charisma, height, wealth, or luck. They require discipline over your own nervous system, which means this is trainable, like a muscle, starting today. Here's the deepest layer of this, the part most men never reach. You cannot fake your way into lasting respect through technique alone, because people are extraordinarily good at spotting incongruence between behavior and belief. The real shift has to happen underneath the behavior. You have to actually stop needing the room's approval. Not perform not needing it, actually build a sense of self solid enough that other people's opinions become information, not verdicts. That's not a communication tactic. That's identity work. It's built through competence stacked over time, through keeping promises to yourself, through doing hard things when no one's watching, and building quiet proof that you can rely on yourself. Once that foundation exists, these behaviors stop being techniques you perform and start being the natural output of a man who genuinely isn't rattled. And that's the moment respect stops being something you chase and becomes something you simply radiate. Respect was never given to the loudest man in the room. It was never given to the man performing confidence, campaigning for attention, or trying to prove himself. It's given, quietly and almost involuntarily, to the man who has already proven something to himself, and it shows in everything he doesn't need to say. You don't need to become someone else to command that kind of attention. You need to strip away the anxious, approval-seeking behaviors you picked up without noticing, and replace them with stillness, restraint, and self-trust. Start with one conversation today. Slow down. Let the silence sit. Watch what happens. If this shifted how you think about the men you respect most, and the man you're becoming, subscribe. Every video on this channel is built to make you sharper, calmer, and harder to shake than you were yesterday.